Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Maria, aka the Spiritual Gardener. This is the podcast Conversations with Mother Earth. I am here again, and I'm definitely being divinely guided. I've decided in my subject matter in the past few transmissions, in my past few episodes. Because if you remember, I'm just going to jump right into this. If you remember, not the most recent episode, but the one before that about the seed and the cosmic egg, we were shown that the Magdalene initiates are also correlate to the symbol of the egg, which is reincarnation. And what's that one word? Resurrection. That's a word that I've acquired since, but it was very much heavily tied to that symbology. And after receiving that information, I had started to pick up the book, Mary Magdalene Revealed, which I had on my bookshelf, of course, just waiting for me to read it. And I'm almost done. I'm flying through the thing, I have to say, because it is so incredibly connected to the channeled messages that I receive both in my personal meditations, also in the meditations and the transmissions that I share here, the channeled messages that I share here. And I'm finding that overall, I'm very much aligned with this divine feminine, divine feminine framework or message. It's incredible. It's incredible, absolutely incredible that I'm being led this way. And I find it so enjoyable and fun to be constantly surprised along the way, because even until a few days ago, I had no idea that the line of transmissions, the line of what I'm most connected to when it comes to my channel and the messages I receive about integrating your heart, about being both human and both divine, and marrying the two and finding a way to be fully human in this human life, but understanding that going inside and that love is the most powerful force and loving yourself is the most important thing. All of those messages are in the Mary Magdalene Gospel, in her own teachings. Those are the forefront of what her message is. Wild, amazing, and beautiful at the same time. So today I really would like to open up the floor for Spirit to come in, and my spirit guides or spirit team, Divine Feminine, to speak about the Divine Feminine, Mary Magdalene, if that comes up. Any of the messages that we need to hear right now for our highest good, for our human self, to be able to move forward, to grow, to expand in this life. It's just going to be general today. I'm going to leave it up to that. I don't have a set section of questions. I don't have anything written out, but I'm going to let Spirit guide me because I've already tapped in and done my grounding meditation. And I've asked if today is an appropriate day to be doing this. And I got the answer loud and clear, yes. So I've set an intention to be guided through this process. And I feel like that there is some beautiful, wonderful, very feminine, but very loving energy that is here to just give us maybe some information and some insight that we need on the subject today. I'm excited about this one. I've been putting it off a few days because I wanted to get far enough ahead in the book to truly understand, like I said, most of the main concepts that could potentially come up, but also just because I feel like it's just such a big one for me. Like I just keep unfolding and unwrapping new things about new correlations, new like coincidences in some of the things that I share in Mary Magdalene's Gospel. I'm still in shock a little. So I'm going to be spirit-led today. I'm going to be heart-led. And I'm going to just try to uncover and connect as best as I can to share all this beautiful, wonderful, magical information with you today. So let's go ahead and close our eyes. I have done the grounding meditation, but I'd still like to take a few deep breaths and connect in. If you'd like to do that with me, I would love to have you do that with me. If not, then you go ahead and you fast forward till we get to the juicy stuff. Okay, hold on a second. All right, go ahead and take a few deep breaths and envision or picture that loving white light, creator energy above your head. And today, mixed in with that white, beautiful golden light, I'm also getting like kind of pink swirls, like vapors, is what it feels like mixed into that. Go ahead and breathe that white light with the pink, the love, just intertwined throughout all of it. Breathe that down into your head, into your forehead, into your third eye space. Feel it travel down your face and your throat, your chest and your arms, your torso, your belly. Let it carry down your hips, down your legs, out the soles of your feet, and allow it to connect with Mother Earth and take it as far down and deep into Mother Earth as you can possibly go. Today, the energy for me feels, I wouldn't say re-energizing, but it's just kind of like this loving, nurturing feeling. Almost like I can tell that you're tired. Like, let me just kind of hold you and cradle you with love and with attention for a few minutes. Like it's helping my weariness, my weary body. And Mother Earth today, it feels like she's carrying me. She's holding me in her arms. So there's a lot of beautiful, powerful love, motherly, divine feminine energy already here for us. And I'm going to go ahead then and breathe that beautiful Mother Earth energy back up through the soles of my feet, up through my legs, through my hips, carrying it all the way back up through my torso, allowing it to come out the top of my head, carrying it up into space and the universe, all the way up to that source, creator, ball of beautiful white light. Yeah, it feels beautiful and floaty, very floaty today. Very airy and lovey. All right, and then on your last deep breath, go ahead and breathe that white light energy back down into your heart. One more time. And I just want to set the intention and say thank you, Spirit, and my Spirit team, for this gift, for placing me in this space to not only learn the most beautiful, wonderful things and feel the most beautiful, wonderful things, but to be able to share it with others, to find those that are ready or to meet them where they are, and provide them with these same gifts as well. I ask that you keep me a clear channel so that my messages are pure of heart, always and forever. And again, I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. Today, I want to start by asking about Mary Magdalene and the Divine Feminine. I don't have necessarily something specific to ask, but it seems as if this is becoming more and more prevalently known or talked about, or it's just unfolding itself, I would say. It's becoming more apparent, these aspects that I think we've overlooked. So can you please give us some insight about this? And I trust where you lead me. How is Mary Magdalene connected to the Divine Feminine? She is an ethereal or representation of the counterpart to the divine. And I say ethereal, but it's like ephemeral. It feels like airy and floaty, and it feels very like cloud-like. I'm getting like just cloud-like energy. It's all this that resides inside of you. This divine feminine energy. It's this feeling that you have in your chest, in your heart. This feeling of in your soul. That's what this encompasses, really. It's this feeling aspect of life. It keeps you, it's a fully human experience. I get the sense that perhaps it's not experienced the same way other places, other places in the universe, perhaps. Maybe it is, but maybe it isn't. But here, it's definitely has an emotional connection. And it's like a tugging on your heart. It's allowing yourself to be tugged and led from this place. Oh my gosh. And the red thread, the red string theory, which I've read about in the book for the first time. Understanding that your soul attached to a red thread has places and destinations that it's meant to go to, it's meant to experience, it's meant to go towards, and allowing your heart to follow that red thread, to give you your soul experience, to allow you to have the soul experience. It's a remember, you chose this path before incarnating here in this lifetime. So that red thread in your heart is the guide down the path you chose for yourself. When you deny the emotions, when you deny the feelings, you're denying the path you chose for yourself. It's that simple. You're denying your own soul expansion. You're denying everything that you came here for. Like, it's like this, I have this vehement energy, like, you're not even taking advantage. You're not even doing what you're supposed to be doing, what you came here for. It's like an exasperation type of feeling. When you struggle so much to connect into your heart space, that's what happens. You falter. You can't feel the tug of the red thread, the tug of your soul, of your passion, of whatever this is. And sometimes that means going to get an ice cream. Like that's what the imagery was. Like, my path is pointing me towards this way to go get an ice cream with my kids, and then down on the path. It's not always just like big picture stuff. It's following your heart to even the smallest everyday things, because your energy maybe is needed there, or a connection is needed there. When you follow that red thread, that path, your heart, it's like kind of like you stay out of the gunk and the trouble. You're kind of staying in the parameters, it feels like, on the, you're on the road. You're not in the sidewalk in somebody's yard. Like, you're not on the sides. You're right where you're meant to be, in the safe zone, And it's not about being, in a safe zone or not safe zone, is what I'm being led to say. You're always divinely guided and directed back to the path. You have support in place on all sides of you to shift you where you need to go. But when we need extra shifting, that's where the heartbreak comes in sometimes. That's where the sadness, that's where when you hold on to an expectation that isn't meant for the situation, for your highest good, for your soul path, that's where some of that heartbreak or that hardship comes into place. And then that's when the doubt comes in. Do not let yourself be guided or be influenced by this spiral, this oftentimes downward spiral. Don't allow yourself to sink into the spiraling thought process, to get stuck in a lower vibration, in a lower frequency, with the disappointment and with the frustration. You need to just see it for what it is and allow it to fall away. Allow it to move through you and allow it to fall away. Don't attach it to yourself. When you attach, you drag yourself down. I'm asking, is there a way I could do this better? Because I so very easily can get caught up in that downward spiral sometimes. And they're showing me laying in bed. What does this represent? It's kind of like get yourself up and go get some water. Move yourself out of the spiraling thoughts. And definitely do not pick up your phone. That's not a good alternative. Go flush yourself out with some water. Then almost speak out loud. I allowed these thoughts to move through me. I have no attachment to these thoughts or these feelings. As I drink this water, I ask the feelings and the thoughts to move through me and to be cleansed. Thank you. I will try that next time. Okay, Divine Feminine, Mary Magdalene. Why is this type of information or this genre of information becoming more prevalent now? Why is it becoming more and more talked about or even explored? The imagery that I'm getting here is a woman hiking, and it's kind of like it has a feeling of going on a pilgrimage and visiting sacred sites, which is actually what this woman had done in her book. She had done this a few times to different places. And what does this represent? It's a rediscovering of the lost, of the places in human history that do exist, but have been glazed over. But it's also a metaphor for the aspects of ourselves that we have glazed over too. That have remained hidden, but have always been just below the surface of the glaze. It's almost like the glaze on a donut is what I'm being shown. And how is this new information meant to help the humanity? It normalizes, or it brings into commonplace. It brings in commonplace behaviors like nurturing again. Understanding that that is an important part of who we are as people. This nurturing aspect, this bringing together again, this taking care of one another, this motherly hugs and affection and love and caring, and cooking for each other, meals, nourishment. And it's kind of like this all are welcome mentality. Come in, all are welcome. It's like we are moving out of this, not self-centered, but separateness. It's almost like the separateness of not feeling seen and not feeling heard and not being understood. We're moving away from that and understanding that the experiences of all are unique. Everyone is going through something separate, different, but as humans, we're all similar in that we're all experiencing and going through something. So being able to join together, despite maybe like a lack of connection in that regard, we're all still human and still experiencing. And so coming together just for that reason, coming together easier, banding together. And it feels like, very female communities. Female communities, feminine communities, women's circles. But obviously men too. It's not just a woman's thing, but like the vibe of the whole coming together is community, it's love, it's understanding. Why are we moving towards a time of togetherness and community? It's almost like a shifting it, and I feel like I want to say like karmic cycles or karmic patterns, a shifting from like operating in this shape, like, and I'm being shown like a sphere or spiral operating this shape, and then transitioning to going the opposite way. Like we did that path for so long. Now it's time for us to completely shift and go the opposite direction. Like clockwise to counterclockwise in a way. And I know that is a symbol, so I'll have to look that up and see what that means, if it means has any significance or correlation to this. Yeah, but it's time to shift in an opposite direction from what we have so been used to. And it's kind of like, that's just what we're doing. Like, that's the plan. We're doing that. And there's this like teetering of like very masculine dominant, and then now we're teetering over to this feminine aspects of society. It's kind of like this balancing act. And maybe that's some of the cycles that we experience on Earth as humans. Is this a little bit back and forth? I know that we started out as a goddess culture, as the people worshiping goddess and creation as a female. It seems like that's what our more ancient ancestors practiced. And then we got the pendulum swing, and it went in the complete opposite direction for a while, didn't it? A while is an understatement. And now we're kind of rebalancing those scales. And how does Mary Magdalene play into all of this? Mary Magdalene, Isis is another name that I'm hearing, because I know that there's a correlation there. I'm hearing Horus for some reason. I'll have to look that up and see what that means too. Yeah, it's showing pairs almost. Feminine, masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine. Mary and Jesus. It's a balancing act between the two. And both are on equal plane. It's like both are equal. Both are equal importance, equal standing. And it feels like the energy of Mary Magdalene or her following is walking, her spirit is walking the earth again and touching the hearts of those that are ready to remember. And it's definitely a growing movement of sorts. And I just hear walking around and touching hearts like this, touching hearts, touching hearts. And the thing is that I feel only positive, loving energy from her, or from, this idea It's almost like this divine timing feeling of like all in due time. We are going to get there. We've gotten here all in due time. It's not too late or too soon. It's just now. It just is. And there will be plenty that will walk in those footsteps, that will share in her path of spiritual understanding. And we are all following Mary, who is following Jesus, who is following like divine, who is following the divine himself, who is following the path of integrating the divine into the human experience. That's what these steps are. That's what this path is. Remembering, oh my goodness, my ear just popped crazy. Thank you. Just had a flatline moment. Oh, the ringing in my ears has been exceptional in the past, few weeks, so not surprising, but still. And I am feeling like a male presence here, or it might be female, someone with long hair. That doesn't matter. It's a spirit, loving spirit. We are here to guide and pull as many as we can into their highest way of living, of being on earth, of being here. And it's interesting because it's like on the path, Jesus is on one side and Mary's on the other, and they're just kind of like scooching people along, like, stay between us, come on, let's go, like ushering people in and grabbing as many people as they possibly can to follow in this. It's kind of like, ooh, stay the path, stay this way, stay the path. We're showing as many people as we can is the message. The way to enlightenment, to higher living. Now, why? Why do this? Why, not necessarily why now, but what's the purpose of it all? Why go to the effort? And the effort is to live well. The effort is to live well, be well, do well, so that we can have as many people following in those footsteps. Because the human suffering out of ignorance, the human suffering from not knowing is unnecessary. A new way of being is available to all that choose to explore and to find it. And that's ultimately what all of this is. That's ultimately what the channeled messages and the connections with the divine and higher dimensional beings, that's all that this is. Blow it all up for you, my friend, because it whittles down to this one thing, drawing as many people as we can down this path. And people try to make it so much more, so much bigger, convoluted than that. It's not. It is a living, truly, it's just a living from the heart space. It is a reminder that our heart is the guide, the authority is your heart. The messages, everything comes from right here, inside of you. Nothing outside of you should take precedent over this voice. There's no authority bigger than this authority here. This is where your God is. This is where your Creator is. This is what needs to lead. So the messages from the aliens and from, the higher dimensional planes, it's all just trying to get your attention to say, hey, we need to be working from here. And don't get distracted either by all of those things. It's fun and exciting and it's new. But it's about fully living human on earth from your heart, in your heart. Your heart as your authority, your heart as your guidepost, your heart as your tour guide. What happens when we choose this, when we do this? What does our life look like then? Bliss. It literally feels like bliss, like heaven. Here we go, heaven on earth. It is a saying, and it's overused, and it's lost its meaning because it doesn't, unless you have the feeling that goes along with it, it's not as impactful. But feel this feeling in your heart and in your chest. And feel the bliss. Actually feel it. Actually feel yourself transcend to what bliss feels like. You literally feel like you're floating. You're walking on clouds. Now I have a question. I know as a human that we're meant to have human experiences, so we're meant to go through trials for our soul growth. We're meant to experience sadness and hardship and some of these other things, to have the experiences. So how does this play into walking the path and following the way that you describe? Yes, your soul came here to have those experiences. Yeah, it did, yes. But your soul did not come here to be stuck in the mud, in the mire, in the quicksand, to get your feet stuck and not progress forward. This is what so often happens. The getting stuck, the inability to shed that which you've experienced, letting it darken and dampen who you are inside. Your whole kind of demeanor, your aura, your human. It's like a walking shell. At that moment, at that point, if you cannot move out of that, it's kind of like forfeit. You didn't really do what you came to do. Your soul, at least. And you get stuck. Thank you. Do you have anything else you want to share about this before I ask a different question? There's healing in the earth when we can, many people can do this. There's healing that we can offer back to Mother Earth. And I'm seeing like a landscape, like a mountainy meadow. Beautiful mountains in the distance with this green meadow, wildflowers, trees, just absolutely clean and pristine and gorgeous. And we clean it up when we can do this. Mother Earth can return back to her intended state. Mother Earth then can rise up and live in the light. It's like the magic gets to come back. The magic comes back, yeah. Pristine waters, pristine skies, beautiful trees and plants. It all becomes this beautiful oasis where we can come to play. And I think Mother Earth finds joy and gladness and happiness in that prospect. And is pushing people towards this path for this purpose. But there's not enough, we need more, is the message that I get from that. And when we do even group work together, when we do group meditations or group healings, that all helps. And it's helping our hearts heal. It's helping us heal as human beings to allow more light to come through. And just in doing that heals the earth. It helps heal the earth and rejuvenate her once again. So yeah, it's like let's keep doing that. Do this more of this. Thank you. And when so many people are walking this path, yeah, the earth feels joy and gladness and happiness, and it all feels just so bubbly and wonderful. Light. It's a really beautiful feeling. Yeah, and a wonderful thing to be able to witness. Now, let me ask, why do I specifically feel so connected to this divine feminine or Mary Magdalene teachings? What's my purpose or role in this way? Well, I think you've lived this divine feminine role many times. And I'm seeing myself as like a Native American woman who practiced and followed this path and was known for this specifically and shared this way with many others and opened up the heart of her people, created a loving and harmonious life, a life experience too. So I was born into places when this was needed, or this is needed most, and have been gifted with the job of sharer or example, so to say. And your job has been twofold: to show the path, to walk the path, to teach people about reconnection with the earth. I'm seeing planting seeds, sowing seeds in my vegetable garden is what I'm seeing actually. So connecting people back to this sacred practice, communing with nature, connecting with Mother Nature again, and opening up people's hearts on how we should live, ways to live. I get to do both. It's incredible. Thank you. All right, I want to ask one more question. For those that are interested in this, or who are drawn to this message, or drawn to this this way of being, this teaching of the ways of the divine feminine in this way, what do you recommend for those individuals? It's almost like there's groups to find, groups of people to find that are doing the same thing. There are communities that are being formed. So finding something, a home like that, to share this experience with. Do you have other recommendations? Anything else? Just there's like an aligning your heart to those ideals. And I actually see someone with a Mary Magdalene medal, wearing a Mary Magdalene medal necklace, and kind of lifting their heads up or their face up in prayer. And living according to those principles, choosing that in that way. Yeah, it's making the conscious choice to follow where you're led. Thank you. Is there any last things that you'd like to share about this topic before we close out today? Anything that people listening may need to know? If you feel it, if it feels right to you, it is meant for you. And there's like a name. I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm getting like names. Oh my gosh. It's like Lisa Lindsay. I don't know. If you're feeling like this message resonates with you, or you're feeling this calling, then it is for you. And it's almost as if like the net will get bigger and bigger and wider, and the network will continue to grow and encompass so much space and take up so much space. It's like it will blanket and cover the earth. The red shroud is what I'm seeing. Just draped over the earth. Living in love once again. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. I would love to find a Mary Magdalene medal. I'll have to see if I can do that, because I think that's such a beautiful reminder of choosing, of showing that I've chosen the path. I've chosen this. This is the way that I'm vowing to live. I think that's awesome. And I love it. So again, if you're interested, Mary Magdalene Revealed, at the back of the book, there's a whole reading list that's recommended of more books, more insights to this. And I most definitely will be picking up at least one, if not two, to explore. But for now, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the guidance and the messaging today, for all those that stepped forward and offered their message. Because we had a few different energies come through. Thank you today, with love in my heart and with gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I leave you today with this message of love, with messages of hope, I guess. Knowing that there is a way to live a human experience, integrating the divine and love makes for a much more streamlined experience. Wow. It's just so good. Why is it so good? Anyway, guys, until next time, I thank you for being here. I'll talk to you. Bye.